slow when the lights source. Tell my bitch I make a living on the race course.
What's good in the hood? It's your boy Jukes Toxic coming at you guys with a brand new video. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. I just want to say that on the clan store, it's Jukes Gaming. I'll link it down in the description below. It'll be the top link. There's also probably a card on the top right if it'll let me. I don't think it will though, but if it does, I'll link it. But basically, I just want to brand my apparel. I have a What's Good in the Hood shirt that I'm actually wearing it right now, and it looks flippin' awesome. I'll go ahead and put a little picture of it on the screen right now. And so yeah, so that's the What's Good in the Hood shirt. If you guys want one, it is $20 on the store. You guys can go purchase that right now. And if you guys want one, you can either wait till after this video, you can go ahead and do it and just pause it and come back to the video because you guys don't want to miss this video. And so let's go ahead and get started with the video. For today's video, I want to talk about this specific company. And the specific company I actually happen to work at. And I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get sued. You guys might be able to figure it out. And I also told you guys in previous videos, and I never had another job. This was the only job that I had. So whenever I was talking about it in previous videos, you guys should know exactly what I'm talking about. And so this specific company, I just want to say, is a Christian company. I believe that's okay to talk about. It's a Christian company. And you wouldn't think in a million years you would ever have any of these problems that I am having from this company because it's a Christian company. And like, obviously there's not just going to be Christians that work there, but if it's a Christian company, and first of all, you're making people that work for you be super nice, and they have like a whole different kind of language that you have to talk. Like, you can't say you're welcome. You have to say my pleasure. But the managers that work there, the managers treat all the employees, or a few of the employees, like dirt. And I just don't understand that at all. But anyways, so I'm not going to say any names, and I'm not going to say the place name. But I'm going to talk about this manager, and he's a big time manager. Like, he does all the scheduling and stuff, and he's the manager that all the other managers like have to report to and stuff like that. And let's say that I ever had to be off for some reason, I would have to go to that manager because he is a pretty big manager. And another thing is, I don't know what's up with him, but his wife is like the sweetest person in the world. His wife loves me so much, and she is so nice. Here's a story about this specific manager, okay? So this was a while back. I didn't have my phone. I think I left my phone at my house, but I wasn't at my house. I was leaving my grandparents, and I needed to ask off for the Saturday after that day because me and my family were going on a trip, and it's called Zombie Run, if you guys know what that is. I think it's only in my state, but I'm not sure. But it's called Zombie Run, and it's basically where you do like a 5K with flags, and then people dressed up as zombies with all the makeup and stuff. They look pretty real, but they try to take your flags, and then if you survive, then that means you have at least one flag once you reach the finish line, and you have to go through water and all that stuff. But anyways, so I needed to ask off for that day, but you can't ask off in like a 1 day time period. So I needed to find someone that could cover my shift. I asked this dude the day that I was working last, which I think was like a Tuesday. Keep in mind that the story that I'm telling you guys right now was happening on Friday, and I worked last on Tuesday, and I asked this dude, I was like, hey man, can you cover my shift this Saturday? And he said, I don't know, I'll have to see, just let me have your phone number, and then I'll get with you, and I'll let you know if I can or not. So I'm like, alright, cool, and so I give him my phone number, and then jumping forward back to Friday, so he still hasn't contacted me, and again, my phone is at my mom's house that day, because I forgot it or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but basically my phone was at my mom's house, and I was just leaving my grandparents' house. So I call up the store. A manager picks up, and this manager, like, he is one of the best managers that works there. I love him. But anyways, so he picks up. I ask him if he can give me his number, and he said that he'll just call my mom back, because remember, I didn't have my phone. So he said I'll call my mom back later after he gets the dude that told me that he could work for me, possibly, to respond to him. I know that was super confusing because I just confused myself, but anyways, just roll with it. And so basically, I'm like, alright, cool, we hang up, say our goodbyes, whatever. And so that night I fall asleep, and I still haven't gotten a response from that manager. And so I fall asleep without the response, and my mom's still awake after I fall asleep. But while I'm asleep, my mom gets a phone call from that manager saying that he cannot cover my shift. But the thing is I know this is kind of her / my fault, but basically she didn't tell me until we were all the way up at the zombie run place that he couldn't cover my shift. And so it's 12 o'clock. We're already up there. And keep in mind, this place that we were at is literally 3 hours away from my house, or from the actual place that I work. And so there's no way. And it's 12 o'clock. I'm scheduled to work at 2. There's no way I can get back, come home, get my uniform on, and then go to work in time. I just call the store at 12 o'clock. I remember it was exactly 12. I call the store, and this guy answers, okay? The punk manager. He answers, and I'm like, hey, I can't come in today because I am 3 hours away from my house. My mom didn't tell me that I had a cover until I got there, and like I said, I'm 3 hours away, so there's no way I can get back. And so he was like, okay, well, you're either gonna have to come in, or you're gonna have to find someone to cover your shift in time. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I can't come in without being super late. And I wasn't about to go, like, I was probably working like 4 hours that day, and I was not about to leave what I was doing, be late to work, and only work like 2 more hours. Like, that would be stupid. I'm like, okay, so can you give me any numbers, any people's number that I can call and ask them if they can come in for me and cover my shift? And this punk manager was like, do you have a watch? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what time is it? And I'm like, 12. He said, what time is it in the store? I was like, 12. And he was like, yeah, we're kind of busy, so I can't give you any numbers. And I'm like, wow, you didn't have to be a butthead about it. I didn't say that, I was just thinking that. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it's out of my control. I can't drive. My mom's up here. She's not going to leave to take me. And like I said, I can't drive because I'm only 15, so I don't know what to tell you. And so he said that he's just going to write me up. I actually didn't get wrote up, but still, like, that dude, he didn't have to be that rude at all. Yeah, so this dude, okay, so anyways, I know I went way far and way too deep into that story, but I want to talk about one more thing. It's still about this punk manager, the same dude. And this was like, how long ago was this? This was Saturday. This was last Saturday, which was like 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And so I go into work, and I wake up late, guys. I wake up late. And so I was about 30 minutes late to work, which I know that's my fault, but everyone wakes up late. And this dude, he writes me up twice. One for something that happened like 2 months ago, and then another one for being late that day. And man, he's just the biggest jerk ever. And keep in mind, this is a Christian facility. But anyways, so he tells me to contact HR, and I'm like, who's the HR? And he's like, see, do you even want to work here? You don't even know who the HR is? I'm like, I could probably ask anybody and they wouldn't know who the HR is. But anyway, so he told me who the HR was, and he told me that I need to email her and tell her why I still want to work there, which I don't still want to work there at all. I want to quit so bad, but I can't because I have to pay a phone bill. And so I'm just going to try to get another job and then quit. But yeah, so he told me that I need to contact the HR and email her telling her why I still want to work there, and to set up a day to have a meeting with her about my behavior or whatever. And that's just like being late, and another thing, like forgetting my shoes. One day I forgot my shoes. So yeah, so he told me to email her. Okay, and a long time ago, he threatened to fire me. He said if there's one more thing that happens, then I'm gonna have to fire you. Or he said terminate you or something like that. And so I'm like, okay. And then right after he said that, like the next day I was scheduled, that was the day that I was late for work, which was 2 days ago. And so I should be fired right now if he was taking his word for it. But that's basically it. I know I was all over the place. I just kept thinking of stuff about this specific manager, and he's the only one that I have problems with. Like, most of the other managers are really chill and laid back, but this one dude, like, ugh. Anyways, I guess this is gonna wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to smack the like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.